Hello, guys. This is Life Issue and this is Blessing. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Now, I did send a message earlier saying that I was going to go live because of this particular story. Now, I don't know about you, but this story actually touched me because it had to do with a girl that died because of what happened to her in a boarding school. Now, if you're like me and you grew up in Africa, you know that our parents don't teach us anything about sex education. So we don't know anything about sex. Basically, as a young girl growing up in Nigeria, I never knew anything about sex from my parents. They don't even talk about it. It was a taboo for a parent to explain to you what sex is. I think I did struggle growing up because I didn't know what it was. Anytime I ever had a discussion with my mom about sex, the only thing she told me was, if you open your leg and they enter, you will get pregnant. I think I didn't know what open your leg meant. I didn't understand what she meant by open your leg. So I grew up not knowing what she was saying until I went into secondary school and university, and it was actually peer groups that taught me things about sex. In this video, what I want us to do is to go through what happened to this girl and analyze it. Now, before I even start, what I want you to do in the spirit of Pastor Jerry is to ask you to share my video if you're on Facebook. I want this video to get to as many parents as it can, because I believe that the way sex education is being taught in our schools is wrong. Parents may feel uncomfortable teaching sex education, but what are the school system doing about it? I am going to put you through what we do and what we teach in primary school in the UK. Now, you guys know I'm a primary school teacher. I have been teaching for like up to 7 years now. I have taught as a TA in so many UK schools, and I do have a wealth of experience. I'm going to try to show you guys what we actually teach children so you understand that sex education is important. Now, the UK government have made sex education compulsory in primary school. I know that a lot of people were against it, but the question is, the society that we live in, where children are always on social media, where they are getting information from social media, how do we regulate what they know? How do we actually regulate what they actually have access to? So let's dive into this story. Let's talk about what happened to this child. Now I'm going to go to my news website. You guys know we always try to upload video from our new website. Now I'm going to put the link for this video that I'm doing. If you want to come on, I will appreciate if people actually drop their comments, if people actually, come online to talk about their experience, because as we learn from each other, the society gets better. All right, let's me share my screen so I can go through with you what happened to this girl and where it happened. All right, so let's go over to, so I'm sharing my screen now and I'm going to show you guys this video. We published this video on our news website and I'm going to read it. Now, Keren-Happuch Anadodo Akbahe, a 12-year-old girl, died after being allegedly violated in a school by an unknown guy. So this school that we are talking about, I'll show you the video and the picture of this school. This school is a school in Abuja, and this girl died after having sex. Now the story is still unfolding. We don't know if it was a consent, if the girl actually agreed to the sex, But one thing that we know is that this school is a mixed school. So it's a boy and a girl school. And we don't know actually what happened. If this girl slept with a child of her own age, or if it's someone who is an adult. So as this story unfolds, I will bring it to you. But what we know is that this girl slept with someone. Okay, now I'm still going to be sharing my video, my page. All right, so apparently she slept with someone and she was in a boarding school. Now she became ill on June 16 and was unable to walk according to the report that we got. And while she was crying, her friend helped her. She went to the exam hall. She wasn't walking very properly. And then on Saturday, she developed an eye infection. And then it was something about the school. The school was trying to avoid the parents have access to this child. And I don't get it. If my child is ill and I want to see my child, why will a school stop my access from seeing my child? So apparently, while her parents pick her off medical treatment, the school refused to release her, but they transported her to a clinic. I just felt like the school knew what was going on in their school. They knew that children were sleeping with each other and that they were using condom, or something was going on. Or it could be a teacher. We don't know yet. I'm just making an assumption. But the way the school hid this child from the parents made me to understand that, well, that's my assumption, that they knew what was going on in the school. So apparently, I'm still reading. When she got to the clinic, they found out that she had condom. Listen, this story is terrible. She had condom. I'm paraphrasing what we've written. If you want to read the whole story, you need to go to our news website. That's why that's why we have that website. Apparently, when she got to the school and when she got to the hospital, sorry, she had condom in her private parts. This condom developed yeast and was still inside her. She didn't even know that the condom was inside. These are young people having sex, not understanding what condom is. And apparently, she became ill. And after returning home with her parents on last Sunday, she died because of the yeast infection and the discharge that were coming out from her. She actually had a condom that was left. You can see a condom had been left in her. Now, we don't know if it's a vagina condom or if it's a male condom. All we know for now is that a condom was left inside her. And her urine test, she died of spermatoza. I don't know what that is. A doctor will know what this spermatoza. And this girl actually died from hyperchlomesia. I don't know what Yeah, thank you. I'm back on. Yeah, you guys can see my picture now. Now, before I say anything, what I'm going to say is if you have a young child out there, if you have a girl out there, can you share this video to any parents who has a young girl? Because I'm going to be teaching you guys sex education as is practiced in the UK. Now, this girl died for something that she shouldn't have died of, because I believe that the society, her parents did not teach her about condom. What she should have done was, and I believe that these are children messing around in the boarding school. Now, the proprietor of this boarding school should be brought to book, because what is she operating, or he operating? Is it a brothel where children come in and they're sleeping with each other? Now, when this child had this condom inside her, because of her lack of understanding or knowledge about sex, she did not remove it. So she had sex with someone. We still don't know who the person is. If it's a child like herself, and I do believe it has to be a child, because the condom was left inside her. And what we were told, I'm going to put what was said that she died of. Now, this is what she died of. Right? She died of hyperglycemia induced by species caused by the infection caused by the condom. So she literally died of condom infection. That's why she died. And I'm like, why didn't her parents teach her about sex education? Why was she not aware of sex education? I mean, whether we like it or not, I keep hearing parents say, oh, my children are so young, I don't want to teach them. I have this group that I belong to, and I was talking about sex education and how we practice it in the UK and how we talk about it. And the parents were like, oh, my children are so young, I don't want to. I'm like, you know what? You're deceiving yourself. If you don't start teaching it, they will still learn it, whether you like it or not, from peer groups, from videos, from YouTube, from what's it called now? From blogs, from videos, from peers. So even from people, even from news, most of our children are Instagram. They know all these things. So when you say you don't want to teach them about sex education, who are you deceiving? They will learn it from somewhere. Why will you tell your child if you open your leg and they enter, you get pregnant? Tell them what it is. All right, let's talk about what we teach in UK, because I like looking at UK education and what we teach. Now, UK education primary school, we've made it compulsory that children should know about sex education. It's compulsory. Parents don't opt out. The only one they opt out is about conception. Okay, I think it's contraception. That's what they opt out. So let me go through our curriculum. Now, first of all, before I start sharing, I will tell you how the best thing to do is, if you're asking, what do I need to do? What age do I need to do? How do I teach this? Now, if you go to Google and put in SRE, lesson planning primary school in the UK, you will find a curriculum of what we teach and when we teach it. Okay? So, if you're a parent and you want to know, now this is a planning of SRE, which we call sex and relationship education in primary school. So when children are in year one, now lesson in year is basically about girls and boys. So what do they learn? What do we learn? At what age do we start teaching them? Now, when children are in year one and year two, we start teaching them what is a boy and what is a girl. They need to understand the difference between a boy and a girl. And me and my son, we have had that conversation. Why is mommy a girl? Why is why is he a boy? Why is daddy a boy? You need to have that rich understanding and conversation about body parts. I know in Africa, it's like a taboo. But if you don't tell your children or talk about it, they will be inquisitive. They will want to see. They will want to know. They always play mommy and daddy, and then they want to touch, and then you get into trouble. So early years is about what makes you male and female. You need to, around 4 or 5 years, you need to have that conversation with your children. Now, when they get to year 2, which is like when they were like 6 or 7, you need to start teaching them the body parts. What is called a penis? What is a vagina? What is a breast? They need to know. So that when they hear those words, they know about it. Don't let other people teach your children what a vagina is, what a penis is, what a breast is. You need to be the one telling them and talking to them about it. So what we do is they actually see pictures of body parts and we talk about it. What makes a male a male? What makes a female a female? So this is what we do when they are in year 2. So I'm looking at 4, 6 years old. Now we talk about human life cycle, which is about how do babies come out. In Nigeria, we just say the pump out. The babies come from some. No, you cannot be lying to your children. Let them know that mommies and daddies actually make the baby. You don't have to tell them how they make the baby, but you need to be letting them know that mommies and daddies make the baby. And babies are formed in mommy's tummy. Those conversations are really necessary. I'm telling you. I know you guys will say, oh, no, I don't want to teach them. They're so young. But you know what? This what happened. This thing that happened to this little girl is what happens when we African parents shy away. Now, what I'm giving you guys is a lesson plan, the way we teach it in the UK or in America. Okay? And we look at, when they get to year 2, we talk about special and different families because of the fact that children need to understand that there are families now who are not straight. We have family who are mixed. We have people who are gay that are actually adopting children, or somebody who transformed that are having children. So we are teaching them now all these things. Yeah. So basically, this information, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get all this information out there. This information are being taught when they are in year 2. Now, when they get to year 3 and year 4, we start to teach them about family life, about the changes in their body. So that's when period is discussed. I know you guys will like, I'm not going to teach my child that. Seriously? Imagine how a female child feels when they wake up one morning and they see blood. Is that no wickedness? For you not to prepare your child for the fact that they are about to get into puberty, and that the fact that they are actually going to wake up and they will have their menstrual cycle. Why is it hard for African parents to actually teach that? I don't get why it is hard. So in the UK, I'm looking at the age from 6 to 9 years old. We start teaching them about puberty. The guys know about being a man, about having their erection when they wake up. My son, I'm gonna get personal. My son just woke up the other day and he was, Mom, why is it that whenever I wake up, my private goes straight? It goes straight, and he's so worried because anytime his private goes straight when he wakes up, and I have to have that conversation with him, and I had to talk about puberty. And I have to tell them that this is what happens to daddy and to every man. That when they wake up, this thing goes straight. Why do African parents shy away from talking about this important aspect of growing up. Do you know the kind of quagmire you put your children for them to wake up and they're ashamed to tell their parents that their penises is going up? They even feel that they are doing something wrong because we are so short choice. We make our children feel as if they are the ones that are making, it's not their fault. When a man feels like going to the toilet, a bathroom, their penis goes up. When a man wakes up in the morning, their penis go up. But in African parents, will not want to have that discussion with their children. They shy away from it. And I wonder why. Why is it that we shy away from talking about puberty, about the hairs coming out, about the desire for a woman, about when you see a beautiful woman, this thing stands up? Why are you not discussing it with your children? The same thing that our fathers did to us, we are passing it on to the next generation. But in UK university, primary schools, we teach this. The children are aware. Now, I'm not saying that it helps reduce teenage pregnancy, but it does help them be aware and be on their responsibility. They know what is going to happen. When they get pregnant after sex, they're aware. They are ready. They did it because of love, or they know that they're going to get pregnant and they are doing it. Imagine if you tell your child all this information. All right, and then I'm going to move on to, this is like key stage 1, year 3, year 4. Now, when we get to 4 and 5, we talk about growing and changing. Now, I'm just putting it out. If you're an educationalist and you're watching this video and you guys are not talking about this in primary school, I want to tell you something. In this day and age, we need to be talking about it, because the children will learn this from peer groups or from the internet. They hear about sex, they hear about all these things. If you don't want them to go and Google, one thing about Google is that it is just a step away. They have phones, they have iPad, they have internet. They will Google it. Okay? Now, please let me stop here and say, share my video. Share my video. If you think you are learning something from this video and you want other people to learn, share. All right, so basically that's what we do in the UK. We teach them about understanding menstruation and wet dream. Yeah, we talk about wet dream, and that's in primary school. How their body changes without video, and about wet dream, and changing the way we keep clean, about dental, about hygiene, about looking fine for that girl out there, about using deodorant, about cutting your hairs. We teach them, and we actually demonstrate sometimes with video. And now when you get to, this is the bit that some parents will say, oh, I don't want my children to learn about it. Oh, I don't know. When they get to year 6 and year 5, we actually go deep about sexual relationship. Yeah, I know you guys, Nigerian parents must have left the room now, and they were like, I can never teach my child this. It's not possible. I cannot teach my child this. The point is, if you don't teach them, someone else will. So sexual relationship is taught when they are in year 5 and year 6. That's like 9, 10, 11 years old. We start talking about, for them to understand sexual urge, about feeling like your dick getting up when you see a girl, about how to express sexuality, about these are I'm showing you guys what you can see what we teach. All right, now some parents will say, oh, they don't want their children in it, but it is compulsory. Now, the only thing that we don't talk about that parents can take their children out is about conception, how you actually get pregnant, which is where we should make compulsory. And I don't know why UK government removed that as not compulsory. And I see most Black Africans taking their children off from this particular topic. And I see a lot of Asian parents taking their children off from this particular topic. You know what? You are doing this service to your child. Your child needs to be in a friendly environment to listen to this and be with their peers when this is being taught by someone who is a professional. And the only person that can handle this is a teacher. I don't know why African parents, when it gets to year 6 and it's about conception and pregnancy, they don't want their children to be in that class, because the UK government have made it to be a particular topic that you can take your child out if you want to. But I think it's wrong. Let me tell you something. If you take your child out, your child is aware that their class is learning about conception and pregnancy. Your child is curious to know what their peers have learned. So do you know what your child is going to do? They are going to Google. They are going to go to search engine, and then they will get stupid pictures of porn sites telling them about conception and pregnancy. They're going to get worked up information from the internet. So my question is, it's not better for your children to be in a safe environment where this thing is taught? I'm just asking. Because I see a lot of Black Africans and Asian, oh, I don't want my child to be in conception and pregnancy topic. They're so young. They're so young. You don't know what these children knows. I'm a teacher, and I hear a lot of in conversation. When you guys are discussing about sex and talking about sex, and you think they're sleeping, most of them hear you. When you guys are having sex and you think they're sleeping in their room, they do hear you. They do wonder what is going on. All right. So basically, we also discussed about being a parent. Why do we do this? Children need to understand the repercussion of their action. If you want to test the forbidden fruits, then you need to know the consequences of testing this forbidden truth. If this girl that died knew that using a condom, she could have removed it after the sex, and also knowing that there are actually side effects of having a condom inside her, she could have actually removed it. But because that we have African parents who are always talking about, of my dead body, my children cannot know about sex, my children cannot, learn anything about sex. This is what happens. All right, so this story, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now because I think I've given you guys the information about the UK, and I've given you information about what happened to this girl and the fact that she's dead now. Yeah, this girl is dead. She's no more there because her parents did not educate her on sex education. My question to you as an African parent, if you're watching this video, is why do we not want to educate our children about sex education? Now, this is my life. This is my news website. And in case anybody wants to go and read the news, please go there. Now, this is my life issues YouTube channel. Please support me. I try to make sure that the videos I am uploading, they are relevant and that they are actually helping our children. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to round up this story by saying this now. Sex education. Oh, somebody just wrote something. Somebody said, this is another reason why sex education is very important in our school. Yes. Yeah, this is, I mean, to be frank with you, when I read this news, I was like, why will a child die? I mean, the child didn't done the wrong thing, okay? The child has sex when she was in boarding school, when she's a child. It might have been her first intercourse. She did not remove this the condom inside her. The condom actually grew and become, what is it called? I didn't even know that condom inside you can actually kill you, but from what we can hear now, the condom inside her killed her. But my question is, if her parents have had this conversation with her and they were actually able to discuss about sex education, would this have happened? I want to get you guys' mind on this, especially Nigerian parents. Why do we shy away from discussing sex education with our children? Do we not understand the fact that if we don't teach it, someone out there will do it? If we don't teach it, the social media website will teach it. There's so much information out there for our children. Is it not better for us to be the one educating them and directing them? You see, Nigerian society is so churchos, yeah, that we think everything ends with A and amen. God protect my child. God, 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 give, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take away the education of your child. You direct them in the way that they should go by teaching them the right thing to do. Teach your child sex education. They need to know. And the only person that can do it in a comfortable way is their parents. I rather have the girls be taught by the women and the male be taught by the men. This is actually a conversation that we all should be having in our home. This is me talking as a teacher, because I was really angry when I saw this news and I was like, this life was lost for no just cause. Just because a parent out there refused to talk about sex with their child. They don't want to. Nigerian parents don't want to. They actually feel as if talking about it will make you more wayward. But really, we still learn about it from our peers. It becomes like as if this person has been disvirgin. Never disvirgin. You don't know. This is what happens in secondary school. It becomes like a random, competition. Are you still a virgin? I've done it now. They discuss it. They talk about it. So why don't you talk to your child about this? Aroma is saying something. He's saying Nigerian parents always try to avoid sex talk with their kids. These kids end up playing about it outside the house, and it's a big it is a big problem. I talk about my own life experience. My mom never for a day sat down to talk to me about sex or talk to me. She just said, "Don't open your leg." Once you no, funny enough for me, when I saw my period, I didn't know what that was. I thought I've done something, something happened to me or I've hurt myself, and it just came. I was crying. And when I went to my mom was shouting, "Hey, you've seen your, hey, okay, you've seen your period. Okay, now you have seen your period. You see that your leg, don't open it. Don't open it. If you open it, you get pregnant too." That was my understanding of sex education. That was the only time I've ever had a conversation about sex with my mom. And then she just went to buy the pad for me and then give it to me and say, "Don't open your leg, oh. If any man enter inside, you get pregnant, you have a child. Me, I will not take it to me." That is how African parents teach. I don't know if it has changed. Let me not generalize, because some people say sometimes in my video I do generalize. So some African parents teach their children about sex education. That is it. But when we now get into school, secondary school, most times, and university, we have peer groups, people that tell you about how they slept with this person, how it was fun, how sex is lovely, how it's good to do it. And then you are wondering, so your mom is, it will get mixed information. So is it not better that we are the one teaching our children? What do you guys think? Drop your comments. Watch this video. Share it with anybody who has a daughter out there. What happened to this child should not happen again. This child shouldn't have died. And I lay the blame on the parents. If they had taught this child about sex education before she went into boarding school, especially if your children are going to go into boarding school, a lot of things happen in boarding school. Whether we like it or not, lesbianism, gay, sex with boys, especially in mixed school. You just fell in love with a young boy and you want to please him, and all they know is that they use condom. People say use condom. They don't even know how the condom is used. And then they don't even know that you have to remove the condom. Maybe they have this myth about the condom have to stay inside. They just cook up story. These are kids. They are not informed. The parents are too treacherous to inform them. They don't want to discuss sex. And then this child is dead. May God forgive us for the shortcoming that we have as parents. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said earlier, this weekend, I'm going to be having a lot of back-to-back video. Now, I know some of you will say, oh, it's too much, but you know what? There's so many things to talk about. And when I do my video, it's about educating people. And like I keep telling people, it's not about the money. It's not about, the popularity. I don't really care. If anybody out there could learn one thing, someone just said, nice topic. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you. If one person could learn one thing from this particular video that I've made, I'm happy with it. If one person could, from my video, be able to understand how to train their child, I'm happy with it. So everything I do on social media is about educating people and enlightening people. Please share my video if you can. Please educate your child. It's not just the girls. The boys need to also be educated. They need to know that when you put that thing inside that hole, something will happen. Some of them don't know. Some of them don't even know where the sperm comes from, or the fact that the babies are inside the sperm. We don't want to talk about it. Some parents or some fathers are competing with their sons. They feel that if they tell their sons what is happening, the sons will have more girlfriends than them. I'm telling you. But then the son goes into school. Most times they join in this fraternity that tells them you have to chase this girl, or girls like them and they want to enter. And like my son, who is just only 8 years, he wakes up in the morning and the prick is standing. He doesn't know why. We put our children into unnecessary quagmire, issues, problem, because we are not explaining the process of growing. All right, I'm going to stop it here. I didn't want to spend 40 minutes, but I've already spent 40 minutes. I don't want to go into an hour. Now, this video, please help me share, help me like, help me comment. What do you guys think about Nigerian parents and sex education? The way we talk about sex education in Nigeria is a right. The curriculum in Nigeria, especially primary curriculum, shouldn't we start teaching about sex education when our children are on social media, they are getting information? Why are we shying away? The Western world are teaching it. Why are we not? If Nigerian parents are saying primary school is too early, why can't we start from secondary school to talk about condom and conception? Why are we shying away from the truth? Ahuba said, sex education is very paramount and it will be wise if it be introduced into our educational curriculum, because most of us learn it through friends. I'm telling you, I learned it through friends. My friends in secondary school told me that that thing is sweet, they have done. It got to a point in my secondary school whereby if you're a virgin, you are taken as mumu. You are not one of the popular girls. So it got to a point where everybody wanted to belong. Now, for some of us who did not know how to belong, our parents did not teach us, and we were afraid of our parents. They said they will kill us if we open leg. So some of us were afraid of opening leg because our parents told us that if we open leg, they will kill us. But most people, the popular girls, were telling us it was fun. You just go and do it. It comes to a point when I was growing up in my secondary school, it became like a discussion. People were even forming story. To be frank with you, I've always been a writer. And I used to win award writing even when I was a little girl. I used to write to Punch newspaper, Champion newspaper, and I used to get a little bit of recognition from school. I won an award for my secondary school writing. So what I used to do is, for me to belong, I'm not telling you guys the secret. For me to belong, I will cook up story, because I was the president of the debating society of my school. I was one of those popular girls in school. People knew me. How can I tell them I never do? Because if you say you're a virgin in secondary school, when I was growing up, you are a Jew girl. So I used to cook up story about my escapades, and they will come and gather and I'll talk. They didn't know I was lying. Because being a virgin when I was growing up in secondary school was like as if you're a mugu. So this is what your children face. Why are you not teaching them the virtue of being single? Why not teaching them what is important, what happens? We shy away from it because we're too churches in Africa. We don't want to call things thing, but it's still the same pastors, some of them that are sleeping with our children, choir masters and choir mistresses. Anyway, let me not go into that. I'm with you guys this weekend, back and forth news. What do you think about this story? Just drop your comments. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please try and click that star. Send us some quid now. And if you are speaking to us, you're watching us on YouTube, we have YouTube, you can give us some, what's it called now? Some YouTube like and some YouTube money. Try to support our channel. Thank you so much. God bless you until I come your way tomorrow. From tomorrow morning, I'm having another video. There's another topic I want to talk about. Throughout tomorrow, I know some of you are very busy, some of you are working, it's fine, but try to come in and watch our video. God bless you. Bye bye. See you guys tomorrow. God bless.